Greetings from the New York Thrifter. This video is a few days late. I promised everyone that I would show you myself packing up a box for the Real, which is an online consignment store that takes luxury items. And I started to do that on Friday, and I realized what a Herculean task it was going to be because after going through all of my storage, it turns out I have a couple hundred pieces of designer goods. And so what I did is I spent all weekend going through my pieces and deciding where I was going to sell them. So the choices that I made were the Real, ThredUp Lux, which is another online consignment, or selling it myself on eBay. So every day this week, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go through a dozen designers and I'm going to tell you the decisions that I made for those in particular. And so starting off today, we're going to look at this mini skirt. This is an absolute vivid yellow mini, and the brand is MSGM. And this is kind of a newish streetwear company from Italy. And you can tell the tags from Italy are pretty distinctive. You can look at it right there. This brand is really known for its super bold prints and patterns. This one has some zippers on the front, makes it a little more edgy. Brand new retail for this would probably be around $400. If you sold it online right now, looking at comps on eBay, you're looking at between $15 and $60. If you were going to send this into ThredUp Lux, your payout would probably be around $25. And if you were going to send it to the Real, it would probably be listed for $50, and you would make out of that about $16 in consignment. I'm going to stop right here real fast to show you how I find my pricing information online. So first up, I go to eBay, MSGM skirt. I scroll down to sold items. And then I'm also looking at pre-owned. It looks like over the past few months, only 6 have sold. So here's one at $66, $34, $59.99. So this would be, I would consider kind of a comp for what I have because it's the same length and it's also in kind of a bold pattern. $57, $157, and this is $1 on a bid. So they probably put, $1 as a minimum and somebody snatched it up. This was like a really, really great price. So that's what we're looking at if you sold it on eBay. Next up, I'm going to go to the ThredUp Payout Estimator, and I'm going to type in the brand. And this hasn't been working really great lately. So usually, even though I typed in skirts, I might not see a lot of skirts. But you can kind of tell from what other things have been priced at least gives you an idea of what this brand might go for. So we've got a blazer, the payout was $44, a dress at $52, jeans at $15, faux leather pants at $12.50, a faux leather top at $24, pants at $11.87, a casual skirt at $78, and a sweatshirt at $11. So even though the skirt they have for this brand sold at $78, I just don't think mine is a lot like this. I would say they'd price it a lot closer to maybe this pair of casual pants, and that's where I put the price where I did. And finally, the Real. I'm going to type in the brand. It is a women's piece skirt. Now, they don't have a sold category per se, but they do have listings for what they're selling their current offerings at. 50, 50, 50, 65, 125, and the reason for that, this is new with tags. 145, new with tags. 225, and this has the fringe on the bottom. New with tags, 165. So as you can see, mine would be closer to this line up here, selling for $50 and $65. Now, the Real used to have a better payout schedule. Now, when you're looking at how much they want to pay you, a real easy formula is take how much money it's listed for, in this case, $50, and you want to multiply that by 0.8 because the actual sales price is not going to be $50. They take 20% off of pretty much every single purchase. And so the sales price is going to be 80% of $50. So the actual sale is going to be $40. Now you only make 40% of that sale. So if you multiply that by 0.4 to find 40%, you've just made $16 on something that's listed for $50. So clearly, the Real isn't somewhere that you want to go with all of your designer pieces. Their payout structure just isn't what it used to be, but sometimes it really can come in handy. So I leave it on my list, and as you'll see, I will send things into the Real depending on how fast it might move, or sometimes they will have brands that they'll mark up. And sometimes the $16 that I'm going to make, the guaranteed $16 that I don't have to photograph, I don't have to list it myself, I don't have to worry about shipping, sometimes that's good enough for me, and I'll take the $16. So now I'm going to go back to the designer brands, and you'll understand a little bit better what I'm talking about when I'm saying the payout schedule for the different online consigners or the different sales prices on eBay. Next up, people are probably going to recognize the name Alexander McQueen. This is McHugh by McQueen, and it is the diffusion line, so it's a lower end brand. This particular piece is kind of a sheath dress with a lace print, kind of a digital print on it. Brand new, a piece like this would probably sell for around $400. Let me show you, it's just a short skirt there. Let me back up so you can see the whole thing. Now, McQueen, unfortunately, we lost him a few years ago. He was a very influential designer. He started out at Givenchy and then launched his own line. Selling this on eBay, these dresses go from anywhere between $12 and $90. On ThredUp, between $10 and $84. And on the Real, they sell for around $75, which would be about $24 in payout. And so what I'm going to do with this is I'm going to end up sending it probably to ThredUp. I'm going to make sure that it is priced relatively high. You can adjust your pricing in their Lux program. And so hopefully I will make about $60. Peter Pilotto, I think I'm pronouncing that right, is actually two designers. It is Peter and his business partner, Christopher DeVos, excuse me. And they do very, very bright, bold digital prints for their dresses. They sell at a premium between $500 and $800 new. And they are absolutely gorgeous, made out of kind of a thicker material. They definitely would be able to stand up. They're not a thin silk. They almost a scuba material. And so this dress, if you would sell it on eBay, you would probably want to list it for around $129. On ThredUp, the payout is about $70. And on the Real, they would list it for around $185, and you'd get about $60 in commission. So for this one, I'm going to be listing it on eBay myself, listing it high with best offer, and see what comes my way. This next designer, Rachel Zoe, got her start as a stylist to some starlets in Hollywood, and she started her own line. It sells a pretty expensive line, I should say. This suit, it's a two-piece blazer and dress suit, originally sold for around $400. And as you can see, it's got some interest here at the waist. So for this Rachel Zoe, if I was to sell it on eBay, I'd probably list it for around maybe $75. On ThredUp, you'd make about $22 in commission. And on the Real, it would be closer to $40 in commission them listing it at around 125. Now I am going to be sending this into the Real, and even though I'm going to be making a little bit less money than if I listed it myself on eBay, sold for this type of suit on eBay in the last couple of months, only 2 have sold, and one of them was new with tags. I have sent in this brand to the Real before, and it actually sold pretty quickly. So I'm hoping for a quick sale, a quick turnaround, and making $40. Next up, we have a pair of silk pants by 3.1 Philip Lim. Philip is a Thai American designer, and he makes absolutely beautiful pieces. As you can see, these are kind of almost a silk jogger pant. And brand new, these were probably $450. And you can really see the work that goes into them. Look at this really heavy duty zippers on these. Now, if I was to sell this on eBay, I could list it for about $39.99. On ThredUp, probably make about $13 on consignment. And the Real around $21. And so I am going to list this for $39.99 on eBay and put best offer on it. Peter Som is the next designer, and he is Chinese American. He doesn't make his own line anymore. The last one I think time he showed was maybe 2015. And so these pieces are hopefully just going to go up in value if he's not designing anymore. And this is just a long silk shirt dress with an interesting zigzag pattern. And so for Peter Som, if you were looking to sell him on eBay, you'd have a hard time. And the reason for that is he has done several collabs, one with Anthropology and one with Design Nation. Now, with Peter Som, it's a little hard to list him and let people know that this is the actual designer. It's not a diffusion line at all. And so, like I said, eBay is probably not the place that you want to sell him. Instead, I'm going to be sending this into ThredUp, where I'm going to hopefully make about $43 on commission. If I was to send it into the Real, I'm looking at closer to $24. So definitely ThredUp Lux gets the vote. Karen Millen is a design house in England. They have about 12 designers, I think. There was a Karen at one time. She's no longer involved in any of the lines. This is a knit dress, and it's kind of a bit of a fit and flare, almost a midi length. Very popular designer, especially in Europe. And if you were going to sell this on eBay, you could probably make anywhere between $17 and $38. For ThredUp, it doesn't sell very well at all. You'd probably only make a few dollars. But if you send it into the Real, it looks like you could probably make about $21 on consignment. And the last piece that I sent in from Karen Millen sold relatively quickly. I spent $5 on this, so I don't mind at all making that $21 in commission. Carolina Herrera has gotten me in trouble on this channel before because I accidentally said that she was from South Africa rather than South America. So I apologize to Carolina. She is a fabulous designer that makes gowns for like the Oscars, for example. She also does suiting pieces and she's dressed several first ladies, including Michelle Obama. And so very, very well-known designer. Now I have 2 of these blazers from her. One of them was $14. I don't remember how much I spent on this one, but I think it was $10 if I'm not mistaken. Now, I do have 2 of these, and I've decided with these, I'm going to be sending them into ThredUp, where the turnaround is between $45 and $98. On eBay, they can go between $35 and $75. And on the Real, after all the fees are taken out, we're looking at probably $30 to $46. So that's why ThredUp seems to be the best choice for these pieces. Next up is Chris Benz, and a few years ago, he was really kind of the up-and-comer in designers. He won a bunch of awards. However, he doesn't really have any more designs coming out. Instead, he took a position as the lead designer at J. Crew Women's Wear, and that was very recently in February. And so we're going to be seeing his designs on a more mass market basis. He usually does very, very bright pieces that really get your attention. These are kind of a little bit more on the plain side. And so these probably won't go for a lot. They're just a pair of wool work trousers, and they're very well made. They've got kind of a high waist here with some interesting details. But again, they're very plain. They probably won't go for much. I am going to send them into the Real and make the $16. They'll probably list them for $50. If I was to sell them on ThredUp, probably get a few dollars, and on eBay at most maybe $15. So that's why I'm going to send those in. I believe I paid $5 for those, if I'm not mistaken. You're probably going to recognize this name. This is Tory Burch. She's an American designer, and she does kind of, I want to say almost preppy wear, but in a great way. And this is a suit. It's a pantsuit, 2-piece, size 10. Great size. And look at all of these details with the TB here on the lining on the inside. So originally when this suit was sold, probably around $600. I am going to sell it on eBay myself, and I'm going to be listing it high for about $125, taking a best offer. ThredUp would probably only send you about $20 for this, believe it or not, and the Real probably closer to $40. And so eBay really does seem like my best bet to get this to sell. Previously, every time I sold Tory Burch, it tended to be more of like a t-shirt, not as fancy as a suit, and I didn't really get a great return on it, but with the suit, I'm hoping for better. I also have a beaded dress that I took to the dry cleaners that I'm probably also going to be selling on eBay myself. Love Moschino is a diffusion line of Moschino itself. They really have unique, unusual pieces for this one. It's got that border on the bottom that is very bright pink and some polka dots on it. For a Moschino piece, very, very expensive. For Moschino cheap and chic, not so much, and Love Moschino, not so much. This sold originally for only about $200, which is pretty low for a designer brand. I could sell it myself on eBay for probably around $40. On ThredUp between maybe $35, and on the Real, I'd get about a $19 return on it. I am going to end up sending this to ThredUp, but before I do, I noticed there was some very slight staining. I'm not sure if you're able to, oh, yep, you can see that. I'm going to try to get that out myself. If I can't, then maybe just redonate it or sell it for less expensive on eBay myself and disclose everything that's wrong with it. And for the 12th designer, I'm going to be looking at Badgley and Mishka. Let me see if I can, sorry, I've got some glare here. There we go, Badgley Mishka. And I find this brand a lot. I don't know if it's because of where I live and a lot of people like it, or if there's just a lot of it out there. This is a black cocktail dress. They are known for their gowns. Badgley and Mishka are also very important wedding dress designers. And so you might see some of their wedding designs. It is two designers, Mark Badgley and James Mishka. They've been designing for a very long time. They've had their business since 1988. So this is probably one of the more mature brands that we're looking at. Now, this dress probably sold new for around $450. On eBay, I could probably only make about $20 from it. The resale value just doesn't seem to be there. On ThredUp, probably between $30 and $40. And the Real says it doesn't take it, but their whole site is littered with Badgley and Mishka, and it's selling for probably a profit of around $46. for the consigner. And so I'm going to give it a shot. I am going to send this into the Real. They might send it back and say they don't take the brand, but we're going to send in a Hail Mary and see if they take it. So for right now, these are the 12 designers that I wanted to go over today. I'm probably not going to be listing anything on my eBay store for the next week. I will have to get some of this dry cleaned. I will have to press some of it. And then I'm going to be sending out boxes to the Real and ThredUp Lux also at the beginning of next week. And I will keep you updated on what I'm able to actually get when these turn around. When you come back tomorrow, I will have 12 more designers that I'm going to talk about. So I hope that you tune in for that. But before I go, I do want to go over some of the solds that I did over the weekend. This is going to include Friday through Sunday because I missed Friday for the video. So I did want to show everyone what sold. So stay tuned for that and I will talk to you soon. I have this pair of frame jeans and they were a size 27. I let them go probably way too cheap on best offer for $20 plus $4.99 in shipping. Looking back on it, I wish I would have gotten more money, but I guess I pushed the accept button, so there it is. This is a Lacoste shirt. It's kind of nautical inspired. It's got the stripes along with the chambray. I sold this for $18 with $2.99 in shipping. This is a new with tags Joan Voss plus size top. I sold for full price at $14.99 with $2.99 in shipping. A Victoria's Secret matching two-piece set, new with tags, sold for $13.50, $2.99 shipping. And finally, a new with tags J brand jeans. I sold for $29.99 plus $4.99 in shipping. So that gives me a total from Friday through Sunday for $115.43. So I am doing a bit better on the sales front. I, however, did not list over the weekend, and this is Monday. I didn't list anything today. I'm about ready to go to bed. So I'm going to see if I can hit it hard tomorrow to try to keep up momentum. But I know 3 days without listing is probably going to slow things down, but I guess we'll see tomorrow how it goes. Good night for now.